Tom stood on the rocky ground outside the research base. The sky above the planet Vora was purple, with 3 suns glowing behind the hills. The wind was soft, and the trees nearby gave off a sweet smell. Tom liked working here. It was peaceful, quiet, and far from Earth's noise. He held a wrench in one hand and wiped sweat from his face with the other. He had just finished fixing the solar panel. His backpack, tools, and communicator were nearby on the ground. He reached down to pick up his phone, but it was not there. Tom blinked and looked again. The communicator was there, the scanner too, but his phone was missing. He checked his pockets. Nothing. Where's my phone? He asked himself. He knelt and searched around the area. He moved rocks, checked under the panel, even looked in the grass. Still nothing. He stood up and looked around, confused. He was sure he placed it on the flat rock near the panel. Ben, Tom said over his headset, "Can you check if I left my phone inside?" Ben answered with a laugh. "You never let that phone leave your sight. Maybe you dropped it in the dirt." "I checked," Tom said. "It's gone." "You sure the Vori didn't borrow it? Maybe they wanted to see Earth music again." Tom shook his head. They asked before touching anything. He looked at the edge of the forest. Just 20 meters away, something moved. A soft breeze passed, and the tree swayed gently. Then he saw her. She was standing between 2 tall trees. A girl. Not a child, but not old either. She looked strange, tall, thin, and glowing slightly. Her eyes were large, and her skin had a soft silver color. She wore no suit, no helmet, just a simple robe that flowed with the wind. She didn't speak. She only looked at Tom with a soft smile. Tom froze. He had seen Vori before. They were kind, short, with wide eyes and green skin. This girl was not Vori. He took a slow step forward. "Hello," he said. She didn't answer. She raised one hand, fingers long and delicate. Slowly, she pointed toward the sky. Tom turned his head and looked up. The sky was clear. Just stars above. Nothing unusual. When he looked back, she was gone. Tom returned to the base, still thinking about the girl. He told Ben, but Ben only laughed. "Again, maybe the sun cooked your brain a bit," Ben said. "Get some rest. Your phone will turn up." But the phone did not turn up, not that night, not the next day. Tom couldn't sleep well. He kept thinking about the girl and how she had pointed at the sky. Why the sky? That night, while others slept, Tom sat outside. The stars shone bright, and the air was cool. Then he heard it, a low, soft hum. It moved across the sky slowly, like a sound from far above. He stood up and looked around. Nothing moved on the ground. No ships, no drones, no birds. But the hum continued. Tom stepped away from the camp and walked toward the forest. The sound grew stronger. Then it stopped. He looked up again. A few stars shimmered for a second, as if something large had passed in front of them. He narrowed his eyes. Was something there? A shape? It was hard to tell. It was like the stars bent slightly, like looking through water. Tom felt a chill. The girl had pointed up. Was this what she meant? The next morning, Tom began working on a small scanner. He took parts from old sensors and combined them with a motion detector. He told no one. He didn't want people to think he was losing his mind. By late afternoon, he had built a basic signal tracker. It could detect unknown energy patterns or moving fields, even if they were hidden. He tested it near the solar panel first. Nothing unusual. Then he walked toward the forest. The scanner beeped. Tom stopped. The screen showed a weak signal, something light, shifting, not natural. It came from the trees. He stepped forward. The beeping grew faster. Then it stopped. He looked around. Leaves rustled. The smell in the air changed. It became sweeter, sharper. And there she was again. The alien girl stood by a tree. Her robe glowed softly. Her eyes were calm. She didn't move this time. She waited. Tom felt no fear, only curiosity. He raised his hand. "I'm Tom," he said. She tilted her head. Then, slowly, she raised her own hand in return. He took one step closer. "Did you take my phone?" he asked. She smiled gently. Then, just like before, she raised her arm and pointed up. Tom followed her finger. The sky was still, but now he felt sure something was hiding their doubt when he looked back down. She was gone again, back at the base. Tom wrote everything down in his journal. He drew a sketch of her. He described the sound, the signal, the way the stars shimmered. Ben walked in and saw the paper. Still thinking about your alien girl. Tom nodded. She's real. And I think something is watching us from above. Ben laughed again. Come on. If something was up there, Command would have seen it. Tom didn't argue. He knew what he saw. He knew what he felt. That night, the humming came again. Louder, closer. Tom stood outside and watched the stars. One of them moved, just a little, and he whispered to himself, "What did you see up there, girl?" The answer would come soon. But for now, the sky kept its secrets. Tom sat near the window in the research base, staring at the sky. His breakfast was getting cold, but he didn't care. He couldn't stop thinking about the alien girl and the way she had pointed toward the stars. Her calm face, her quiet smile, and the strange way she vanished, it all stayed in his mind. Ben walked in, holding a tray of food. He sat across from Tom. "You still thinking about her?" Ben asked with a grin. Tom gave a small nod. "She was real. I saw her again yesterday." And the scanner picked something up in the trees. Ben raised an eyebrow. "You brought your scanner into the forest?" "Yes, and it beeped like crazy right before she appeared." Ben chuckled. "You're going to get yourself in trouble. The forest isn't fully mapped yet. What if something dangerous lives there? I don't think she wants to harm us." Tom said softly, "She's warning me. That's why she points up. Something is above us." Ben looked out the window. "You're saying there's a ship in the sky?" "I think so," Tom answered. "It's hidden, but she knows it's there." Ben didn't laugh this time. He looked serious now. "Do you want to talk to the commander?" Tom shook his head. "Not yet. I need proof first. Real proof later." That day, Tom walked toward the edge of the forest again. He kept the scanner close. The trees were tall and thin, with purple leaves and glowing vines. The air smelled fresh, and small animals jumped between the branches. Nothing seemed dangerous. He moved slowly, scanning each step. At first, the screen showed nothing. But as he reached the spot where he last saw the girl, the beeping returned. The signal was stronger now. He followed it deeper into the forest. The trees grew closer together, and sunlight barely touched the ground. The scanner led him to a small clearing. There, he saw strange footprints in the dirt. They were small, long, and light. Not from any human boot. Not from the Vori either. These were different. Tom knelt and touched one. The shape was soft, but the ground was still fresh. Someone had stood here recently. A whisper passed through the trees. It wasn't wind. It was a voice, soft and distant. He couldn't hear the words, but it felt like someone was calling him. He stood up and looked around. The girl wasn't there, but something was watching. He backed away and returned to the base. That night, Tom sat outside with his scanner on. The sky looked peaceful. Stars blinked quietly above, but the air felt heavier. Then he heard it again, a low, steady hum moving slowly over the sky. He stood and turned in a circle. The scanner beeped louder. He looked up and saw something strange. The stars were moving. Not all of them. Just a few in one part of the sky. They shifted slightly, like they were being covered. Then, for a second, he saw a faint shape, long and wide, like a ship. It shimmered and vanished again. Tom's heart raced. He had seen it, a real ship, hiding in the sky. He ran inside and grabbed a small camera. He rushed back out and waited. The hum passed again, and he took pictures of the area. Maybe the camera would capture something. The next morning, Tom studied the pictures. At first, they looked normal, just stars. But when he zoomed in, he saw it something blocking part of the sky. It was almost invisible, like glass. But it was there. He showed the photo to Ben. Ben stared at it for a long time. "That's not a cloud, no," Tom said. "It's a ship." And she was pointing at it. Ben leaned back. "We need to show this to the commander." Tom nodded. But first, I want to find her again. I think she knows more. Tom returned to the forest in the afternoon. He followed the same path as before. The scanner led him back to the clearing with the footprints. He waited there, standing still. Minutes passed, then he felt that the air changed. The light dimmed. Slightly. The leaves stopped moving. And then she appeared. The alien girl stood on the other side of the clearing. Her eyes looked kind, but serious. She didn't move toward him. Tom raised his hand. I saw the ship, he said. Is that what you wanted me to find? She didn't speak. Instead, she raised her arm and touched the air. A small blue light appeared in front of her fingers. It grew into a shape, a circle with 3 lines running through it. Tom watched as the shape turned slowly. Then, more lights appeared. He saw a floating object, his phone. It was inside a round room filled with machines. The machines moved around it, scanning it, connecting cables to it. The image changed. Now, the phone showed a picture of Tom himself, standing beside the alien girl. It was like a memory, but different. The angles were strange, like the moment had been recorded from above. Tom frowned. They're using my phone to learn about us. The girl nodded. She touched the light again. A new shape appeared, large, with smooth sides and glowing edges. It was the ship. Tom could see it fully now, hidden high above the sky. They're watching, he said. She finally spoke. Just one word. Watch. Then the lights faded. The girl stepped back into the trees, and just like before, she vanished. Tom returned to the base and saved the scanner data and the new photos. He didn't speak to anyone that night. He couldn't stop thinking about the image of his phone inside that strange room. The way it floated, how the machine studied it. Someone had taken it on purpose, not for stealing, for learning. And now, they were watching more than just him. He looked out the window one last time before sleeping. The sky looked calm again, but he knew better now. They were up there, watching, waiting. And the alien girl was the only one trying to help. Tom couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the alien girl's face, calm, quiet, serious. He also saw the strange ship above the sky and the image of his phone floating inside that unknown room. The machines had studied it like it was something important. But why? Early in the morning, Tom got up and walked outside. The air was cool, and the ground was still wet with dew. The base was quiet. Most people were still sleeping. Tom held the scanner in his hand and looked at the forest. He knew she would be there again. He had to speak with her properly this time. He walked past the trees, deeper into the woods than before. The scanner gave a weak beep. It was the same signal as before, soft, shifting, not natural. Tom followed it slowly. The forest became darker, but peaceful. Birds made soft sounds in the distance. Light filtered through the purple leaves. He moved past a fallen log, then stepped into a small clearing, and there she was. The alien girl stood in the middle of the clearing. Her silver robe moved gently with the wind. Her eyes glowed a little. Her skin shimmered in the light. She looked straight at Tom as if she had been waiting. Tom raised his hand. I'm back, he said quietly. She didn't speak, but she didn't vanish either. He took a few steps forward. You showed me the ship. You showed me the phone. I understand now. Something is watching us. The girl slowly turned to the side and walked over to a flat stone near a tree. It was round and smooth like a table. She placed her hand on it. The stone lit up. Tom watched in silence as beams of soft blue light rose from the stone. The light formed floating symbols in the air, shapes, lines, and patterns. They changed quickly, turning into pictures. He saw the ship again, only now it was much clearer. It had a strange design, like it was made of glass and metal. Long arms came from its sides, and at the center was a large glowing ring. Then he saw his phone, still floating. Then more objects, not just his phone. There were other things. A small book, a pair of boots, even a tool from the base. All were floating in the same room. Machines circled around them. They're collecting. Tom said. The girl looked at him and nodded slowly. Why? He asked. Why are they doing this? She touched the stone again. A new image formed, this time Tom saw a large crowd of beings humanoid but not human. Their eyes were dark, their skin pale. They sat in a circle, watching images on a large screen. On the screen was Earth, then humans, then war, fire, machines, noise. The image shifted. It showed peace, humans working together, building, helping, protecting. The girl looked into Tom's eyes. She was trying to say something without speaking. Tom understood. They're trying to decide if we are safe or dangerous, he said. They're watching us to decide what kind of people we are. She nodded again. Tom stepped closer. You're not one of them, are you? She looked away for a moment, then turned back and touched her chest. A light appeared, showing a planet. It wasn't Earth. It wasn't Vora. It was a different place. Then she pointed at the sky. Tom thought for a moment. You're from somewhere else, but you know about them. Maybe you've seen what they do. The girl touched the stone again. A final image appeared. It showed Earth again. Then the hidden ship. Then a bright flash. Tom's heart jumped. They might attack. She looked down. Tom stepped back. He needed to tell someone. But who would believe this? Who would believe that? A silent alien girl spoke through light, showing pictures of a hidden ship planning something dangerous. He looked at her one more time. Can you speak more words? She looked at him, then opened her mouth slowly. Her voice was soft, almost like wind. Soon, she said, only that word. But it was enough. She stepped back, and the light disappeared. The stone turned dull again. Then, like before, she walked into the trees and was gone. Tom returned to the base quickly. He saved the scanner data, wrote down every symbol he had seen, and tried to draw the pictures from memory. He needed help. He couldn't do this alone. He knocked on Ben's door. Ben opened it with sleepy eyes. Tom, what now? You need to see this, Tom said. They sat together in the main lab. Tom showed Ben the scanner results, the photo of the ship, and his drawings of the lights and symbols. Ben looked serious now. He didn't laugh this time. This is big, Ben said. We need to tell the commander. Tom nodded. But we don't have video. Only drawings and readings. They might not believe us. Ben stood up. Then we go back and get more. The next day, Tom and Ben returned to the forest. Tom led the way to the clearing, but this time, the scanner was silent. They waited for over an hour. Nothing happened. She's not coming, Ben said. Tom looked at the stone. It was cold now. No lights. No symbols. They left, but Tom promised to return again. That night, the sky looked brighter than usual. Stars shimmered in strange patterns. Tom watched from the roof of the base. He held the scanner tight. Suddenly, the device beeped. The signal was strong. Very strong. Tom looked up. A part of the sky rippled like water. He saw it again. The hidden ship. It was larger than he remembered. It moved slowly, silently, above the clouds. Then it stopped. Tom held his breath. Was it watching him? He pointed the scanner and recorded the signal. He took photos with his camera. This time, he would show the commander everything. Before he turned to go inside, he looked up one last time. And in the middle of the sky, behind the stars, he thought he saw a soft light, a circle of glowing blue, just like the one the girl had shown him. Tom stood in front of Commander Dale's desk, holding his scanner and the photos he had taken. The lights above hummed softly, and the room felt tense. Commander Dale looked serious. She was a tall woman with short hair and sharp eyes. She studied the images for a long time without speaking. Tom waited. Ben stood beside him, arms crossed, silent too. Finally, the commander put the last photo down and looked up. You're saying there's a large ship hiding in our sky, she said slowly. Yes, Tom answered. It's invisible to the eye, but my scanner picked up its signal. It's been there for days, and some alien girl keeps showing me things. She warned me. Commander Dale frowned. And you have no video of her? No, Tom said. She appears and disappears fast, but she's not Vori. I don't know what species she is. She communicates with lights and symbols. Ben stepped forward. I saw the place she took. Him too. There's something strange in that forest. She showed him what they're doing with his phone. Dale tapped her fingers on the desk. We'll check the forest. I'll send a drone team. Tom shook his head. She won't come if we bring machines. She only comes when I go alone. Commander Dale looked at him for a long moment. I'll think about that, for now. Keep watching, and keep quiet. No one else in the base needs to panic. Tom nodded. That night, Tom stood outside again. The sky was calm, but he knew the ship was there. His scanner showed the same strange signal. Slow and steady, he watched and waited, but the girl didn't appear. The next day, a storm moved across the sky. Dark clouds covered the stars. The wind howled around the base. No one was allowed to go far from the buildings. Tom stayed inside, working on his scanner. He added a new part-10 old amplifier to boost the range. When he tested it, the signal grew stronger. It was coming from the north beyond the forest and into the mountains. Tom stared at the map on the screen. She wasn't just pointing at the sky. She was pointing towards something in the hills. Ben looked over his shoulder. There's a small ridge there, a strange rock formation. No one's explored it yet. I'm going, Tom said. Ben frowned. You're not supposed to leave without permission. I won't go far, just enough to check the signal. Ben sighed. You're going with or without me, aren't you? Tom gave a small smile. The next morning, just before sunrise, Tom left the base. He carried his scanner, a flashlight, and a small pack of tools. Ben followed close behind. The path through the forest was quiet. The trees stood still, and the ground was soft with fallen leaves. After an hour, they reached the rocky hills. The scanner beeped loudly now. The signal was clear and close. Tom climbed over a group of boulders and stopped. In front of him stood a tall metal tower, half hidden by vines and moss. It didn't belong to the base. It wasn't human. Ben stepped beside him. What is that? I don't know. Tom whispered. But it's old. Very old. They moved. Closer. The tower had strange writing on its sides, circles and lines, like the ones the girl had shown. The metal felt cold to the touch, even under the sun. Tom found a small doorway at the base. It was half open. He squeezed inside. Ben followed. The inside was dark and dusty. The walls glowed faintly with blue light. Strange machines lined the sides, silent and still. In the center of the room was a round platform, like a table, but taller. Tom placed his hand on it. Nothing happened. Then a soft sound came from the corner of the room. A shape stepped into the light. It was her, the alien girl. She looked calm, but her eyes were serious. She raised her hand and pointed again, first at the ceiling, then at the platform. Tom looked at it. What is this place? She didn't speak. Instead, she walked to the platform and touched its surface. A beam of light shot up, showing the ship again, this time in full detail. The ship was large, shaped like a ring with arms spreading out. It had long sections that spun slowly. Then the image zoomed in. Inside the ship, small rooms held strange machines, and inside one of them was Tom's phone. Still floating. Tom watched as the image changed. Now it showed Earth, then the base, then the tower they were standing in, and finally, a warning symbol, red. Lines, flashing lights, a countdown. Ben stepped back. What does it mean? Tom turned to the girl. Is something coming? She looked down, then touched her chest, and the light appeared again. It showed her planet, then the same ship arriving. There, then fire. Tom stared in shock. They attacked your home. She gave a slow nod. Ben looked worried. Then we're next. Tom turned to the machine. What is this tower? A weapon. She nodded again. Tom placed both hands on the platform. Can we use it? The girl touched the edge of the table. A new image appeared, a keyhole-shaped symbol. Then, to Tom's surprise, she reached into her robe and pulled something out. It was his phone. She placed it gently on the platform. The machine lit up. The tower shook slightly. Lights ran through the walls. The platform glowed. Tom looked at the phone. It wasn't damaged, but it was different now. There were new icons on the screen, ones he had never seen before. The girl stepped back and said, "One word, start." Tom and Ben rushed back to the base. Commander Dale met them at the door. Where were you? Tom handed her the scanner. We found the source, an old tower, alien tech, and we activated it. With this, he showed her the phone. The screen glowed with new symbols. A pulsing blue light moved through the top corner. Commander Dale looked at him. What does it do? I don't know, Tom said. But it's waking something up, something powerful. That night, the sky was no longer calm. The stars flickered. The humming returned louder than ever. Lights moved behind the clouds, and this time, the ship didn't hide. It revealed itself, a massive object above the sky, blocking out the stars. Lights ran along its body. Beams shot down toward the surface. Scanning the land, the alien girl stood again at the edge of the forest. Her robe glowing. Tom stood beside her. We're ready, he whispered. The real battle was coming. Tom sat alone in the dim light of the base's small lab. His eyes stayed fixed on the screen of his phone, which glowed softly with the strange new symbols the alien girl had activated. The pulsing blue light was steady now, a quiet heartbeat. That seemed to link the phone to something beyond their world. Ben leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Do you think this phone is some kind of key? Tom nodded slowly. I'm sure, but it's also a window. What do you mean? Tom tapped a few buttons. The phone responded immediately. Opening a hidden file of video, the screen showed his own face standing beside the alien girl. But it was different. The angles moved, as if the scene was recorded from above, inside a strange room. He saw his phone floating in the air, surrounded by machines that scanned it from every side. It's like they recorded everything, Tom said softly. Our world, our lives, through my phone. Ben stepped closer, looking at the screen. So they're spying on us? Not just spying, Tom answered. They're learning, studying how humans live, how we think. Suddenly, the video changed. New images appeared. Alien beings, pale-skinned and tall, sitting in a dark room. They watched screens showing Earth, then the base, then the tower where Tom and the girl had been. Tom felt a chill. They're watching, but they don't know what to do yet. Maybe they're trying to decide if we're friends or enemies. Ben looked grim. If they decide we're enemies, what then? Tom didn't answer. His mind was full of questions, but no answers. Later, Tom went back to the tower in the hills. The alien girl met him there again. She stood quietly by the glowing platform, waiting. Tom placed his phone on the platform. The lights flickered and then grew stronger. Suddenly, the air around them vibrated. The machine hummed to life. A soft voice came from the device. It was the girl, but this time she spoke more clearly. Humans are strong, she said. You survive. You fight. You protect. Tom listened carefully. Her voice was calm, but full of hope. The machine showed new images, battles from the past, humans fighting wars, defending their homes. The girl touched the images. Your strength is in your heart. Tom felt a new hope. Maybe they were not just victims. Maybe humans had a chance. Back at the base, Commander Dale gathered the team, scientists, engineers, and soldiers all crowded into the control room. Tom showed them the phone and the video. He told the story of the alien girl and the hidden ship. Many were skeptical. But when Tom played the video and the scanner signals, everyone grew silent. Dale spoke firmly. This is a threat we cannot ignore. We must prepare. The team worked day and night. They sent messages to Earth and other colonies asking for help. Satellites focused on the sky above Vora, trying to detect the hidden ship. One evening, Tom stood with Ben outside. The sky was bright with stars, but the ship was still hidden. Suddenly, the scanner beeped wildly. Tom looked up. A beam of light shot down from the clouds. It scanned the ground near the base. Ben grabbed Tom's arm. They're starting. Tom nodded. We have to act. He rushed inside to the control room. Scientists pointed to a screen, showing the ship's outline. It was massive. Its engines glowed blue. Dale ordered the soldiers to prepare defenses. But Tom knew the real power was in the tower. Tom and Ben returned to the tower. The alien girl was waiting. She smiled softly. This machine, Tom said. Can it stop them? She nodded. Tom placed his phone on the platform again. The machine lit up. and a powerful pulse shot into the sky. A bright wave spread from the tower. Shaking the ground dot above, the ship flickered. Its invisibility shield failed. Now everyone could see it. The ship tried to move away, but the satellites locked on. Missiles launched from the base and nearby colonies. The alien girl's light filled the tower as the machine worked. Tom watched as the ship slowed, then stopped. The battle was just beginning. The sky was dark, but the stars could still be seen. Tom stood beside the alien girl near the forest edge. The glow from the tower in the hills pulsed softly behind them, sending waves of blue light into the sky. The hum from the hidden ship was louder now. Everyone at the base could feel it. Commander Dale had ordered the base to go into lockdown. Soldiers guarded every entrance. The scientists worked quickly to prepare defenses, but no one knew what to expect. Tom held his phone. Ty Lee. The strange symbol still glowed on its screen, pulsing with the heartbeat of the tower's machine. He looked at the alien girl. She smiled gently. Her eyes showed calm, but also determination. "We have little time," she said softly. "They come." Suddenly, a shimmer appeared above the clouds. The huge hidden ship revealed itself. It was bigger than anyone expected. Its long arms stretched out like fingers, and glowing lights ran along its sides. The shape blocked out the stars, casting a shadow over the base. The ship moved slowly, scanning the ground with bright beams of light. The beams touched the trees, the buildings, and the open fields. Tom felt a cold fear. This was no longer a secret. "Prepare for attack," Commander Dale ordered. Soldiers moved quickly, taking positions behind barricades and inside the buildings. Scientists watched the scanners nervously. The base felt alive with tension. Tom and Ben ran to the tower. The alien girl led the way. Inside, the platform glowed brighter than before. The machine was ready. Tom placed his phone on the surface again. "Start," the girl said. The machine roared to life. Beams of light shot from the tower, reaching high into the sky. The beams struck the ship. The ship shuddered. Its lights flickered. The shields around it began to fail. Outside, the base's satellites locked onto the ship. Missiles launched from the surface, shooting straight at the massive vessel. Explosions lit the sky as the missiles hit, but the ship did not fall. Instead, smaller drones appeared, flying out from its arms. They moved fast and attacked the base's defenses. Tom watched as the battle grew. The drones were small, but many. They targeted the soldiers and the machines. "We need more power," the alien girl said. Tom nodded. He stepped forward and touched the glowing platform. Energy flowed through him. The symbols on his phone grew brighter. The tower's machine started sending a strong pulse into the sky. The pulse spread wide, reaching the clouds. The ship's engine slowed. The drones stopped attacking. The big ship began to lose control. But then, the sky changed again. A new signal came from above. Another ship appeared, even larger and darker. It moved with a terrible speed. Tom felt the air grow cold. The new ship was not friendly. The alien girl looked at Tom with worry. "They come to help," she said, "but not for us." The new ship's beams struck the hidden ship. The big vessel was pushed away from the base, losing its power. Tom knew this was only the beginning. The sky was full of ships, now friends and enemies. The battle for the planet had begun. The battle raged above Vor's purple hills. Ships filled the sky like shining stars brought to life. Tom stood beside the alien girl at the edge of the forest. The tower behind them hummed with energy, glowing brighter than ever. The symbols on Tom's phone pulsed with a steady rhythm, the heartbeat of hope. The hidden ship, once so quiet and invisible, was now fully exposed. It fought hard, firing beams and launching drones. The base's defenses held strong. Missiles and laser beams cut through the dark sky, striking the enemy ships again and again. Suddenly, from the dark clouds above, a massive new ship appeared. Its design was different, sleek and powerful, with glowing blue lines running across its hull. It moved fast, and its presence brought a quiet awe. The alien girl's eyes shone with relief. "They are here," she said softly. "The Guardians." Tom watched as the new ship released smaller vessels. These ships flew low, protecting the base and attacking the enemy drones with precise strikes. Commander Dale stood beside Tom. "Who are they?" she asked. "The Guardians," the alien girl replied. "They protect worlds. They fought the enemy before. They saved my planet." Tom looked up, hope filling his chest. "Then they will save us too." The battle continued through the night. The Guardian ships moved with great skill, blocking attacks and destroying the enemy drones. One by one, the hidden ship's forces struggled to keep up inside the tower. Tom touched the glowing platform again. The machine responded, sending powerful pulses into the sky. It was as if the tower and the Guardians worked together, a united force. Against the threat, the alien girl watched Tom carefully. "Your people have courage," she said. "You fight with heart." Tom smiled, feeling stronger. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the base. The hidden ship fired a large beam directly at the tower. Tom ducked as debris fell around him. The alien girl raised her hands, and a shield of light formed round the tower, protecting it. Ben appeared beside Tom, shouting, "We have to hold this position." The battle was fierce, but the tower's power held. The Guardians intensified their attacks. More ships arrived, joining the fight. Hours passed. The enemy ship weakened. Its beams grew weaker, its drones fewer. Finally, with a loud roar, the hidden ship began to break apart. Pieces fell from the sky like shooting stars. The enemy was retreating. The Guardians followed, protecting the retreat. As dawn broke, the sky cleared. The stars faded with the coming light. Tom stood with the alien girl and Commander Dale, watching the last ships disappear. "We won," Tom said quietly. The alien girl smiled. For now, she looked at Tom's phone. "This is the key. It helped us." Tom nodded. "It was lost, but now it found its place." Commander Dale turned to Tom. "Your courage brought us hope. You and your mysterious friend." Tom looked at the alien girl. "Thank you for everything." She smiled softly. "I am called Scylla. I will stay and help protect this world." Tom felt a new friendship grow, not just with Scylla, but with the hope for their future. Months later, the base was stronger. The tower's technology was studied carefully. Humans learned to work with Scylla and the Guardians. Together, they built defenses and explored the stars. Tom often stood outside at night, watching the sky. The stars were peaceful now. His phone was no longer lost. It was a symbol of courage, friendship, and the fight to protect what they love.